Hi Abe,
Federico.
how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Fine, thanks for taking the time. Hey, first off, 2020 marks the 10th anniversary of Diamond Eyes and the 20th for White Pony. So, do you guys have any special plans for these anniversaries?
I think we did. I hope to still. We had some plans for the White Pony. Definitely. I mean, obviously, we were maybe gonna do some special shows, with the record in its entirety. And I know a lot of people do that. We never really have done that too much, So, but we do it. We have a new release of the White Pony, a special edition sort of thing. So that's coming out as well. But also, even way back in the day, before we had even written the record, White Pony, we had a concept. We'll do a remix called The Black Stallion.
Okay.
So, but we hadn't even written White Pony yet. So, anyways, long story short, all these years later, so we made that record, and now we were able to also do The Black Stallion. So that's coming out too as well, and that's White Pony remixed, each song remixed by a different person. So.
Okay, that's huge news. And how do you work those remixes? Because I've seen you work with M83 and Come Trues. So how do you choose who does the remixes?
The plan was to originally, do you know DJ Shadow at all?
Yeah, of course, he's amazing.
Yeah, totally. So he was from nearby, from Davis, which is the next town over from Sacramento, and he's in the Bay Area, is very close by. So the original plan was, back in the day, after we made the White Pony, we were gonna hand him like one of those shiny like drug dealer briefcases, like we're gonna give him the masters, 100 grand, and the briefcase, and just say, here man, remix this. And that was like our kind of like a joke that we had years ago. And so that was the plan, to have him do the whole thing. But he did one song.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of different people, so it's kind of interesting. We had a bunch of people that we sort of threw in the pot, and kind of to see who was available. So it's a lot of different pretty cool people too, man. So he's one of them, which is really exciting. So
yeah, we're eager to hear that, because his last album was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's just amazing, man. So yeah.
And also about releases, you guys have released some teasers of maybe a next album, and how has the pandemic changed your release plans? And has it changed the content of it? Maybe some topics or songs you didn't like at first?
I mean, everything was done. So we recorded we actually did all the recording of the music about a year ago, July of last year. And then the whole process was pretty relaxed. This was all during we agreed to take some time off as well. So that during that time, we actually got together and started writing some songs. But we had a year, which turned into 2 years off. So we had a few shows here and there, But so we did all the recording about a year ago now, and then the vocals were done. And then, of course, when it came time to actually do a final mixing and everything, that's when COVID was happening. So that was a bit odd, because we were working with Terry Date, who did our old buddy, who did a bunch of our records as well. We did this record with him, but we had to do it all via Zoom and just sending mixes. So, and it worked. It was a little bit more of a lengthy process, because if we're all there in the room, we could say, oh yeah, turn the snare up, bring the guitar down, bring the drums up, all the drums, bring everything, because when you're there, you can just knock it out quickly. So it took a little bit of learning and patience to get it done that way, but you just have to adapt. You know what I mean?
Yes, and how was it working again with Terry Date, like rediscovering your first sounds or some things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, because a lot of our core sounds people know us for, and were sounds that we developed with him, on our first, especially our second record. The first record is very raw and kind of, I hate that record. I can't even listen to it, but it's just very young. It's a very young record, and and it's what it is. A lot of people like that record too, so I can't, But by the time we made our Around the Furrows, we were more comfortable, and that and White Pony sort of set a foundation of, So having him back was, and he did self-titled album as well, and then the Eros record, which never came out, and all this. He's family, man. So he's always been. It's never like anything. It's just like. He's like, hey, I'm here if you ever want to do something, just call me up. So we just said, hey, what's up, Terry? Let's want to do this? So yeah,
okay,
very natural.
And regarding that workflow and stuff, is the pandemic for you, regarding music in general, like a catalyst? Things after the pandemic will happen, more quick, or like a pause for music and you have to get back in the mood or the live music mood?
Yeah, no, I'm there. I'm ready right now. But it's going to take a lot of people need to trust. People need to feel confident. I mean, our band relies on people getting sweaty together and having and close, packed in close and hot and sweaty and just letting it all out. I mean, as for most concerts, you need to rely on people being very close together and sweating on each other. So, and people need to feel confident. There's no, especially in the States, there's no confidence right now. There's no confidence. I don't even want to get into it, but the orange president is giving no one confidence. I don't want to talk about it. I hate him. He's disgusting, but let's not go there.
Okay, and do we have any maybe release date for the first single of the new album?
Yeah, I don't know about the single. I think sooner. I know the record's coming out in September, so it is coming out. I don't know the exact. It's been moved around a couple times now. It's supposed to be July. So if anything, the pandemic has sort of made us adjust a few things, but it's still pretty much on schedule. So I don't even know. I honestly don't know when the first single's out. I'm not sure. Have you not heard it?
No. Well, I was aware of your Twitch sessions, and when you had that moment with Frank, and it was fun.
I was gonna say, you want to hear something?
Yeah, of course. Bring it on.
That was fun, a little snippet, but I know that everything's coming soon. All the websites went dark and they're the little things. So that's all happening right now. So it's exciting times.
And regarding your Twitch experience, how has the internet treated you? Like rediscovering new things or maybe new sites, the Twitch transmissions. How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We're a band who has always been not shy, but also not. I know a lot of the newer generation, everyone's like, I'm doing this right now. Look at me. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I just did that. Here I am. Look at me. I'm doing this now. Like, man, you gotta, we come from a different generation, man. And I think that there needs to be some, it's an amazing way to reach people. I'm not, that's amazing. But I think there needs to be, especially with rock music, man, there needs to be a little bit of a mysticism, a little bit of, you can't just, here, I'm making food now. I just ate food. Now I'm going to drink, people are just like, man. So, but we were doing a few little things where we were trying to interact and keep people engaged, I guess. But we're more of just a quiet band.
And how has it been for you rediscovering some things? Because I'm very intrigued with your playing technique and how you use the Roland sampler and the mandala drum. Have you, in this pandemic, thought of any new things to add to your kit?
It's funny, even all this stuff, I like to keep it very simple if I can, because it's the more things you have, the more they can go wrong, especially with electronics. But all the electronics have gotten way more consistent and way more, especially on the road, things are getting beat up and broken down in the setup every night and traveling and bumping and, but everything's gotten way more reliable. But the funny thing is, whenever we get together to start writing new songs, I always bring something like a pad or something that's fun. And I'll just hit it and someone will go, oh, that's rad. Do that again, and I never want it to be on the record, but now it becomes part of this. Now I have to add more things. So it's kind of funny, so, but we're always searching for new sounds and trying to incorporate different layers and into the music. So it's fun, but if I had my way, I would prefer to keep it more simple, just in terms of and now it's growing and growing. And it's it's a headache, so.
Yeah, impossible. And what are some of because for me, I have rediscovered some bands that I haven't heard in years, like some old records. I don't know, for instance, AC/DC's Back in Black turned 40, and it was coming back to my teenage years. Do you have any bands that you have revisited that, man, they're so good, I had them forgotten somewhere?
You know what's great? It's funny you should mention that it was the 40th anniversary, and I've heard that record and those songs. I've heard those songs so many thousands and thousands, and I was it's on the radio and and it was one of my favorite when I was a kid. I was whoa, that record is crazy. And I just after hearing those songs thousands and thousands of times, I was listening to it the other day with all this 40th birthday.
Yeah.
I was man, this shit is really, really good. That's why it's simple, and that's why it's lasted this long. And I what I realized, I don't grow tired. I've heard these songs so many times where I would turn it oh my God, it's on again on the radio, and but I don't anymore. I just what? That's a great song. That's a badass record. I'm gonna turn it up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, incredible engineered and stuff. And what would be your advice? Because I believe musicians, and mainly younger musicians, are battling with this enclosed atmosphere. Yeah. What would be your advice? Hey, get to write whatever you want. Don't stop practicing, or what would be your advice to them?
Yeah, I mean, with being locked down and at least partially locked down, it's crazy. It's so amazing because the technology and the way that what you can do in your room, in your home, in your whatever, without having to go to some amazing, gnarly, expensive studio. I mean, you can do such amazing things. But at the same time, I always tell, I mean, not that we've been around a while, and I certainly don't know everything at all, but we've learned a lot over the years, just in our travels and our opportunities that have been, put forth for us. It's, just traveling. And I always say, you got to enjoy the process, and most importantly, enjoy who you do it with, man, because, and it's all about, I mean, I wish we could get out and play right now, but I mean, you find out really quickly chemistry by your bandmates, by going in a van or a car and traveling wherever you're going. You find out really fast if you're going to get along, you know what I mean? So, and that's nice to have that chemistry in place early on, you know what I mean? So, but there's nothing wrong with going through different people and finding different things as well. But just enjoy and play wherever you can. Unfortunately, right now, we're not able to, or none of us are. So, but I still think that people could do it online. People are doing these amazing little concerts online. It's pretty cool, man. But I just want to go on the road so bad. And
regarding that, one final question. Your last gig, I believe, was Day of the Deftones in November. What memories come back to you, and what do you miss the most about that? I mean, the people, or the amazing sound, or your bandmates? What would you say you miss the most?
Yeah, I mean, that was our last show. You're right, and I remember being very stressed out on that day. It's our own festival, and this was our second year of doing it. Which is like, whoa, we get to do it again. We can, the first one was very, and we're trying to grow it. Maybe take it to a different location, different country sometime. But I remember being very stressed, and we had a blast. The show went off, and it was fine, and we were done. And we were all back. Oh, we did it again. We drank beer, and then and that was the last we played, man. And that was God. It's pretty wild to think, So I'm just I miss it so much, you know what I mean? And we just need to be patient, and we need to have trust and wear our damn masks and just do the basic stuff. Can we disagree on something, but yeah, and hopefully sooner than later we can all be back together again. You know what I mean?
Of course. Well, David, thanks a lot. And I appreciate you taking the time for this interview.
Frederick, no, thank you so much. Of course. Thank you for the time.